Okay, so I just asked AI if black holes are portals. Okay, that's not the first time I've asked that. And it says no, but it is. I don't know how I know, but I know. I know if the black hole, if you put something in it, it's going to explode, right? Just like if you go deep underwater in the abyss, you're going to explode, right? Even because the pressure. And that's the same thing with the black hole. However, it's not in the physical, it's like in the spiritual. I don't know because I think I already spoke about this. I have a drawing that I had for a while. That's how I know. That's how I know it's a fucking portal, bitch. Because I drew it and let me see, hold on. And I know that I've seen it. I've seen it happen. On this shit. So this guy right here, I drew him a couple years ago. And this in here is a black hole. And when people come for me, I tend to throw them in here. Okay, because he's around. He's, always around. So I'll throw them in there. And then when they go in there, they'll go to a different place. Like some people will go to the desert, like not this desert, like to, where there's nothing at all, just sand. And they'll just walk there and I see them like all bloody and shit, because, I guess they can't come out of that. I've seen people, in their childhood era. So, I mean, I guess it depends on where you're at mentally and in your life. That thing, that black hole will teleport you there. It depends on what you did and how you are mentally. I don't know. But if I remember one time this lady, I went to the doctor and she came for me, like throwing spell work and stuff. And I just grabbed her and I threw her in there. And then I saw her like in a desert. It wasn't that desert that I'm talking about. It was another desert, but she was there, she was stuck there. That's kind of like when they try to put me in a mirror because I showed them when I was cleaning my mirror. It's like I don't want to say teleported in the mirror, but it was something like that. And they tried to trap me in the mirror while I was cleaning my mirror. That was Eric Moreno who did that shit. And then somebody, like a whole bunch of people came in. And mind you, this was my thing. And then they came, like I said on the last videos, they're always trying to use my own techniques against me. Okay? So I remember that time where they did that in the mirror. And it's the same thing with that black hole. But they can't get out of that. Like once you're in there, you're stuck in there. No matter what, you can't. So, like I said, I feel like it's a portal. It's a fucking portal. But I don't know how to get in it. I say it's a spiritual thing to where if there's a black hole, just like when people are, they put the triangles and then they come out from that or come out of the mirrors or some shit like that. It's something like that. They create a portal. It's a fucking portal. If you can create a portal, now I know the government has done that shit, bitch. It's I've posted videos of it. The government has made portals, bitch. So that, but I'm talking about the black holes up in the sky, up in space. It's a fucking portal. I don't know how. If I had thought maybe if you, I don't want to say wear a cloak because, I mean, or you can, but you're still, where you're basically invisible and then you go in it and then you just appear somewhere else would be a thing. It's like the wormholes, right? But it's not a wormhole. It's some other shit. So I don't know how or where that would take you. If only God can use that. Because when I battle people, that right there decides. It's not me deciding for it. It's like, oh, you came for me, bitch, fuck you. And I grab you and I throw you in there. And like I said, I've seen a man. I remember there was a Tesla who drove next to me one time. And because I felt the pressure in my sacral area, I just grabbed him and I threw him in the portal. And then I saw him on a horse as a little boy. It was a man, obviously. He was driving the car. But I saw him as a little boy drive. He was on a horse. And he was happy, it was like his childhood memory or something. And that's where that teleported him, right? And I was like, oh, that's nice. Okay, so I guess he was a good guy. And then when God sends them to like the desert, I've seen people go to hell. I've seen people, go through like where they're drugged up in a corner somewhere. Like, I don't know if it takes you to your deepest, darkest, or if you're a good person, it takes you to your most happiest place. It's something like that. Okay, that's what my guy does, right? So again, the portal up in the sky is something like that. It is. How do I get there though? Right? How do we get there? Because it's not a wormhole. I mean, you can probably appear somewhere else, but how far back or it's something intriguing with the black holes. Since I was little, it was like calling to me. I know there's a lot of shit up in the sky, right? Up in space. But the black holes for me was something that I was obsessed with. And like I said, maybe that's why I drew that. But I didn't, when I draw, I don't think of what I'm drawing. I'm just making shapes and shit until I'm done. And that's what came out. So there's something out there communicating, I guess, to me and telling me shit, right? So I don't know. Maybe people need to look more into what black holes do. Right? I know we created them, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the real ones. Because there's something there. Yeah, I just wanted to say that. So people say, oh, what are you doing? I'm not seeking attention, bitch. I'm speaking on what I know. For the people who have the resources and more knowledge of it can maybe put the pieces together, right? And that's it, bitch. I could care less about anything else. But yeah, maybe there's more answers for the public to know. Not just you people, you gatekeeping shit. No, that's for people can kind of be aware of what's going on out there and what the world has to offer, right? And obviously not anybody can use that shit. So, but as long as they know what's going on, because mind you, it's up there. It's for anybody. So the faster people look into shit, it's before someone else takes that information and does some fuck shit with it. That's why it's really important to where people pay attention to what's being told out here, because you don't know who's going to take that information. And mind you, I'm not going to shut up though. If that's what people are like, you're being a threat to society because you're speaking up, and I'm saying that about you people, because sometimes other people can educate you and learn from it. Stop trying to make them shut up because you feel threatened or you didn't think about that, or maybe God is not telling you. He's telling the person you have your foot on their neck, but they're still speaking up about it. So you can do something about it, right? It's like a light bulb going off on your head. Like, oh yeah, oh maybe we should, or oh no, I don't think we should, but not to dismiss something to where someone else can be like, you know what? Yeah, we're going to dismiss this. And the person over here from another country is like, yeah, you know what? Let's look into that. And then we're all screwed. Some shit like that. So there you go.